Hello, my friend, and welcome back. Today, I am being called to talk about joy and having more fun and how that can directly relate to your life and what you're trying to manifest and just your vibration in general. So, the message that I got, and when you start to communicate with the divine and tap into your intuition and your guides, one, at least I know for me, one of the biggest things that I was surprised about is, I guess, like their demeanor, at least for me. They have like the divine has a very upbeat demeanor and a very playful, fun, not quirky, but like just that very playful, very happy, very joyful, very blissful vibe. And the divine really wants to encourage us to embody that and for us to really bring that into our human lives because that is our natural state and is just being, in this human experience that brings our vibe down. So, we talked about before about kind of like cutting those sandbags of the hot air balloon to help you rise and to help bring your vibration up. But we're really, really being called to have fun and to do things that bring a smile to our face and to do things that light us up from within. And I feel like I've talked about this multiple times before, but I'm being called to talk about it again because the divine wants to reinforce just how important this is. And so when you're trying to manifest something and something kind of specific, when you are trying to, feel how it'll feel to have it and visualize it, you can kind of get caught up and it can actually kind of lower your vibration because you are creating resistance of not having it, and you might be feeling like how good it is, say you're manifesting a car, to be driving in that new car and the feeling of the steering wheel and the scent of the car. But you have to understand that you have to be at a higher vibration to attract that and to attract the kind of car that you want. So it is great to visualize and to feel the steering wheel and to feel like, the gratitude that you'd feel like it. But if excuse me, if as soon as you are done with that visualization, you go back to, the mundane way of life, and or if you're kind of unhappy in life, or if you go back to a lower vibrational feeling, it totally negates that visualization and that experimentation, that embodying the feeling work that you just did. And I'm not saying that you have to be visualizing all day long and embodying that gratitude feeling of the car specifically all day long. I'm talking about that when you go back to life after that, is that you need to be in a state of joy, in a state of play, in a state of bliss, and in a state of gratitude as much as you can throughout the day, because that is then raising your vibration. And remember, the divine knows exactly what you want to manifest. The divine knows. If you've ever heard spiritual people say that you only need to ask once, it's true, because even if you don't ask, the divine still knows what you want. Have you ever manifested something that you didn't ask for but you wanted or needed? It's because the divine knows, the divine is all-knowing, all-seeing. So, therefore, that visualization work is great. However, it isn't the end all be all for bringing something into your life. It is all about how you move throughout your day. And you can say, well, like, I love to sing, but I just can't be singing all day long. That's true. I'm not saying that you need to be doing your highest joy all day long, because that isn't, practical for most of us. If you can, that's great. But if you can't, what we are being encouraged to do is to find joy in the little things. Find joy as you're moving throughout your day. To find the joy. And so it's also joy, but I also like to bring in that feeling of awe, and to be in awe of life. And when you bring in that feeling, that does help to raise your vibration. It helps you to feel more joy. For example, say you are about to eat breakfast, and usually you just kind of like go through the motions of eating breakfast. But, say you're having some fruit that day, I encourage you, the way you can get into awe of that is to, first of all, think about gratitude comes when you think about what can be taken from you. And that breakfast can be taken from you in many different ways. So when you have that breakfast in front of you, say you're eating, I don't know, strawberries for breakfast, and I'm not making any dietary recommendations, just using as an example. Say you're eating strawberries for breakfast. You can look at that piece of fruit. First of all, look at it, admire it. Look at all those little tiny seeds. Look at the beautiful red color of that strawberry. That is a color that man can't replicate. And think of how it changes. Then think about how it grows. That this strawberry started from one of those teeny tiny seeds. It grew into a plant. It sprouted the strawberries. The strawberries started green and teeny tiny. And then they grew into this beautiful, magnificent berry that you are now able to enjoy. Think about all of the people that had to help get that piece of fruit to you. The farmers that grew it, the pickers that picked it, the delivery people that helped ship it from the farm to the store, the clerk that rang that strawberry up, the job, like, think about your part in it. Think about, the job that you worked to earn the money to pay for that strawberry. And then, the car that you drove that strawberry home into, the refrigerator that kept that strawberry cold until you were able to enjoy it, the water that flowed out of your faucet to rinse the strawberry off. And then now these hands that are going to pick up that strawberry and help you eat it, and the mouth and the taste buds that are going to enjoy that wonderful, wonderful flavor of the strawberry. When you start to think about that, how can you not be in awe of this strawberry that you are about to eat? When you think about it, and don't think about it in a bad way, like, oh, these people work so hard and I worked so hard for that money and my car's polluting the air. This is not the time to be thinking about those things. Think about it in a way of awe, like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. This is amazing about how this strawberry came from the ground to my plate. Look at it in awe. So that is one way to raise your vibration, by doing something very simple about eating, and just to be in awe. And you can do that with any aspect of your life. Another thing you can do, I've heard this, and this, like, maybe I don't like to play games like this, but I just want to say this because I know that this has worked for a lot of people. When you are at work or doing something mundane, cleaning something, doing laundry, to make it like a game, like maybe how fast you could do the laundry, or how fast you could clear things up, or how neat you could make this, and to, in your own way, to make things a game, so you are kind of playing a game. like I said, like this doesn't exactly like work for me or appeal for me, but that's okay because not everything works for everyone. But that being in awe really does work for me. And another thing you can do, especially when you are interacting with people, especially because, you know, if you work a job that works with the public or you do something where you interact with people a lot, it can be very trying. But you want to not exactly think about what they're going through or what they're coming from, but just come from that place of understanding and come from that place of, you know, you don't have to think about this specific instance, but understand that, say someone was a little nasty to you, you have to come from a place of understanding and say, you know what, they were just like me. I'm sure that there was a time in my life where I was a little nasty to someone who completely didn't deserve it. And we are all connected, we are all one, and I'm going to let that go and I'm going to send that person a blessing because, you know, obviously something is going on in their life to make them nasty like that. So I'm going to send them blessing, peace, joy. Let me send them something that they've been really, really needing. Ask God to send them something that they really, really need right now. So that can kind of help you bring yourself out of not getting wrapped up in other people's emotions. And you can, another thing that I really like to do is with people, is to kill them with kindness. You know, it's really, really hard for someone to continue to be miserable and nasty to you when you are just so nice to them and you just don't give in and don't match their nastiness, because when someone is nasty or miserable, really what they're looking for is misery loves company, is they're looking for someone to match them. But if you refuse to match them and you keep that vibe high and you just keep being kind and kind and kind and nice and nice and nice, you will find most times there is that break and that person just comes right up. And I'll give you an example. So I was on the phone with a client the other day and she was a very high maintenance client and was upset about the things that I was asking her. And I just kept going. I just kept being so, so nice to her. So cheery, so nice. By the end of the conversation, she had turned a complete 180 and she was asking when she would get to meet me. Do we get to say hello when she comes? And she is so excited for everything and so excited to meet me. Like, out of nowhere. You know, but that is because I refused to go down and to meet her misery. I was like, girl, I'm up here, get on my level, you know. And being kindness and killing people with kindness is what you're saying. You're saying, I am not going to match you and you are going to have to match me in my state of joy, in my state of kindness, and in my high vibration. Because once you start to experience that, when people change their attitudes and you experience that break, because it's kind of like a snap and they're just like, well, okay then, you know, it feels so good and it feels like your vibration at that point then skyrockets and goes to the roof. And the other thing for keeping your vibration high throughout the day is just releasing that pressure. And we talked about this the other day, I think 2 videos ago. It's just releasing that pressure. Things just aren't that serious. And you know, it's okay to work hard, but it's not okay to work under that pressure and that stress of, I gotta do this, I gotta get this done, I gotta go, go, go. No, because that's lowering your vibration. But just, you know, being like, I'm gonna do my best and it is what it is. Let the chips fall where they may, and I'm just going to keep moving through my day, because I think that you'll find that you might actually get more done and be more productive in this state, because that state of pressure and stress isn't the clearest state. It's not the way that you are able to flow through your day. And that is what we want to be in. We want to be in a constant state of flow. So whatever you have to do to keep yourself into that flow, you need to do. And the other thing that I'm being told right now is in your spare time. So that those are the ways that you can move through your day doing the mundane things and to be in a higher state. The other thing you can do is to do something that brings you immense joy in your spare time. Sometimes we have to put our household chores aside, our to-do lists aside, if you can, and to do something that just makes you happy. Is it getting your nails done? Is it pampering? Is it massage? Is it energy work? Is it catching up on TV? Is it watching spiritual content like these videos? Do something that brings you joy. Is it walking your dog, playing with your kids, playing with the dog? Sometimes when you're finding yourself feeling lower and you're not able to get into the flow of things, if you can stop and do something that will bring you back up, take a walk, get into nature, go for a swim. It's summertime right now. Be outside in the evening, go watch the sunset. Whatever it is for you, you're being encouraged and being told just exactly how important that is right now, because it is so important right now for us to be finding those things that bring us joy. And the other thing is like, you can also plan something, and I know we're supposed to like live very present, but sometimes having something to look forward to helps just to raise your state when you just even think about it. Because remember, your mind, not remember because I don't think we've ever talked about this, but your mind that can't tell the difference between when you are thinking something and it's giving you that feeling, or when you're experiencing something and it's giving you that feeling. Your mind doesn't know the difference. And that is why visualization is so powerful, because it is putting your mind into that state, and your mind creates your reality. So when you are thinking about something, say you're going on vacation in a week, that don't think about the stress of, I have to pack, I gotta get ready, oh my God, I gotta get so much work done at work so I'm ahead and I'm not behind when I get home, home from my vacation. No, think about like, I am so lucky to be going on vacation. I am the absolute luckiest, and I cannot wait to see the magic that this vacation has in store for me. Like, be childlike, like be like a child, counting down the days until Christmas. If it would make you feel good, even draw like a fun little paper calendar that you can cross off the days. 15 more days, 14 more days, 13 more days. And you can get into that joy and spark that inner joy, that tingling, those butterflies in your stomach that are going to help you raise your vibration. Because then in that moment, you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to get ahead of my work so I don't come back to something. I can be able to come back with ease and grace from my vacation and flow right back into my workflow. So I am so excited to do this laundry, because I'm gonna have fresh, clean vacation clothes on vacation. I cannot wait to make my list to pack, because then I'm gonna have everything I need to have the most wonderful vacation I can possibly have. Oh, sorry. So those are the things you need to do. Those are the games you need to play. Play those games to get you into that higher state. Do those things that bring you joy. And I'm being just told over and over and over again just how important that is. And I think that's pretty awesome, right? That it's so important for us to have fun right now, and it's so important for us to bring ourselves joy right now. Okay, let's go for it. Like, okay, tell the divine, all right, well, let's go. and let's see what we can make. Let's see what kind of magic the universe has in store for us, because all we have to do is allow and tap into it by keeping our vibration high. You don't have to worry about the specifics. You don't have to worry about the how, okay? You just have to worry about you. Worry about yourself. Stay in your lane. Bring yourself some joy today. Bring yourself some love today, okay? So that is our message for today. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Anne, and I hope to see you tomorrow.